So today, lads, we saw yesterday we heard a kind of crazy thing. When it comes to Dewanna Bonner and the Phoenix Mercury. And this was something that I'm kind of surprised about, but not surprised about at the same time. I genuinely think that Nate Tibbetts has just let something out that he was not meant to have said. I do not think that he was meant to have said what he said. What Nate Tibbetts said was that he has been the playoffs and these big moments were why they were wanted to bring in Dewanna Bonner. So by the way, Dewanna Bonner, the day that Dewanna Bonner got rid of or was gone from the Fever, every team not named the Phoenix Mercury were told to stop trying to get her. Every single team were told to stop. Don't go to get her. Dewanna Bonner is only going to the Phoenix Mercury. Don't pick her up off waivers and don't trade for her. She was blocking trades. So basically, him saying that was why they brought in Dewanna Bonner means one thing's going to happen. One of two things happened. Either Dewanna Bonner signed for the Indiana Fever knowing that she was going to take their money for a certain amount of time, then quit on the team so she could get her money, she could get her 80 grand, and then go and get paid another 80 grand from the Phoenix Mercury when they could afford her. Because they couldn't afford her max contract. I don't think that's the case. But what I think is the case is that one or two things happened. One or two things happened in Indiana that she didn't really like. And she had Alyssa Thomas in her ear saying, we'll find a way to get you to Phoenix. And there was some sort of collusion behind the scenes to find a way of getting her to Phoenix without giving up any assets. Without having to give up Sammy Whitcomb. Without having to give up Kit Laxa. Without having to give up Natasha Mack, who ended up being a starter. Without having to give up Kat Westbeld. It would have cost probably Kat Westbeld and Monica Cole-McCanney. It would have probably cost the two of them to have gotten her. It genuinely would have gotten, it would have cost the two of those to get Dewanna Bonner, especially with contracts equaling up and everything. And look, I think the Fever would have done it. But obviously, the only situation where Dewanna Bonner can join the Phoenix Mercury while every single player for the Phoenix Mercury is still on the roster was what happened. It's as simple as that. The scenario that happened is the only way that Dewanna Bonner could have ended up on the Phoenix Mercury with Kat Westbeld still there, with Monica Cole-McCanney still there, with Kit Laxa. I know she didn't play in the playoffs, but she was looking really good at that time. With Kit Laxa still there, with Lexi Hell before collapsed alone, she was doing well with her still there, and with Natasha Mack, who's a starter, still there. It was the only outcome. And by the way, every 12 other WNBA teams were told, or 11 others, obviously not the Fever, when the Fever got rid of her, don't sign her. She's only playing for the Mercury. Don't sign her, she's only playing for the Mercury. Which means there had to have been talks of Dewanna Bonner finding a way out of the Fever to the Mercury while she was on the Fever. And look, we can talk about this. That is very, very much what Nate Tibbetts has implied. That is very, very, very much what Nate Tibbetts implied.
Okay,
and
spent at least 100 hours.
Sorry, Jesus Christ. I was clicking something there. I was trying to get the the Nate Tibbetts comment, but it just for some reason set off one of my freaking videos. But no, I can't find the footage. But at the end of the day, Dewanna Bonner is a Phoenix Mercury player. And if this was in any other league, there'd be an investigation done by this. There is something. The Phoenix Mercury knew they were getting Dewanna Bonner while she was still... It seems like the Phoenix Mercury knew they were getting Dewanna Bonner while she was still under contract for the Indiana Fever. It seems like they knew that. They knew they were getting her. And, I don't know what else there is to say about it. I don't know what else there is to say about it. Like, at the end of the day, this is just a league that's not a serious league in any way. This is not a serious league at all, that we're now literally out here seeing a player or like a coach imply that, you know, they were recruiting a player who was under contract for another team and then was refused. They wouldn't trade for her. The Mercury wouldn't trade for her because they wouldn't give up any assets for her. And then they found a weird way that she would quit on the team, keep getting paid money, and somehow end up exactly where she wanted to be and make her money. And the Phoenix Mercury didn't have to give up anyone else. Like, this is like something, there's something more to this. And if this was in any other sports league, there'd be an investigation done. There is something more to this. There's absolutely something more to this. Absolutely. Like, I can't believe that there's been nothing done. I can't believe there's been nothing done to the Mercury. Like, the Aces have lost like 3 first-round picks because there's an investigation to everything the Aces do. How are the Mercury not being... Well, how is there no investigation into this? Because they've done something. We can either go the most like crazy route, crazy conspiratorial, put our tinfoil hats and say that was the plan all along, was for Dewanna Bonner to end this season on the Phoenix Mercury and just join the Indiana Fever so that she could get her money, and the Phoenix Mercury had the money to build a championship contender, and then she could leave and join the Mercury on the minimum. I don't think that happened. I think what happened is that the first game of the season happened. Dewanna Bonner got sent to the bench in preseason and she was pissed off a little bit. The first game of the season happened. She got her points record. Everything was going well. The crowd was great. And then she logged on to social media and was getting so much abuse from people that she thought were her fans, but were actually not her fans. They just hate the Fever. As soon as you join the Fever, you're the enemy. People that she thought were going to be on her side, and they began to hate her. And then she didn't like that. And then she was stinking it up even more. Lexi Hull came into the starting lineup for her. She was pissed off on the bench with Lexi playing over her. And the Indiana Fever weren't very good. They weren't very good. With Kaylin injured, they weren't very good. And then she quit. They were sub 500 when she quit. Like, she quit on a sub 500 team that are one game away from making the finals right now without her. The Indiana Fever got better without her, no question about it. Absolutely no question about it. But there's something up with this. Like, again, the Indiana Fever never replaced her. That's one of the big problems with the Fever is they never actually replaced her. But at the end of the day, something happened. There's some form... Like, there has to at least be an investigation done into this, because you better believe if this was the Aces, they would have lost the first round pick. And if nothing else, I'd say at least a best case scenario, and this is given the most favorable scenario to Dewanna Bonner. She's pissed off at the Fever organization. So, and Alyssa Thomas is telling her to come to Phoenix. Phoenix refused to trade for her because they didn't want to give up any pieces. So she made up a stink. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys.